Carl H, the most hated man on Reddit. Never heard of him. I'm not exactly a power Reddit user either. I would have expected it to be Gallo Boob.
330 million. That is the amount of active users on internet juggernaut Reddit. Most people who are familiar with this site know that it's a place where you can find answers to topics or like-minded people on practically anything. From trying to figure out a song from an old movie to the latest updates on political news. It's also a good place to go when you're trying to learn something or at least get tips on increasing your knowledge about it.
That's probably like the last place you should go.
Fixing your credit score, figuring out that noise your car is making.
There
are communities and threads that will cover all of that, and so much more. Every day the site is host for millions of people getting assistance like this. Strangers helping strangers, for nothing at all in return. There is the occasional award you can get, but overall there is no monetary gain you will receive. Yet this doesn't dissuade people from continuing to make a positive reputation for themselves. One such individual was at one point one of these helpful people, a man who was praised by thousands of people, who had a nearly flawless stance on the site, and was even given Redditor of the Day.
Redditor of the Day?
Suddenly it stopped.
Like Employee of the Month at the Krusty Krab?
Not only disgusting and vile, but cemented the fact that you truly do not know a person when it comes to the only interaction with them being through a computer screen.
Well, yeah.
This is the story of how a man who was seemingly helpful and friendly on the outside had a sinister and dark...
Why do people keep saying toss? Jesus Christ, I'm gonna have to skip in here to make sure. What the fuck would be toss about it? People say it's a fucked up story, and that may be true, but do they show anything? The story itself can be fucked up, but as long as they don't show anything, it's fine. And it doesn't look like they do. Yeah, fucked up stories aren't toss. It's only an issue when they're like showing like a bloody picture or something. Thanks for resub Swan.
Dark lifestyle behind closed doors. This is the story of Carl Harold.
Carl. Thanks for resub No Cry. And the prime potato. Carl posted cringe in the gaming section, and everyone hated him.
On September 25th, 2009, a community on Reddit would be created, and it would be called r/Carl H Programming. It was a place where a man going by the handle Carl H would teach anyone programming from beginner level all the way to advanced lessons. If you don't know much or anything at all about programming, let me be the first to tell you from experience that it is not an easy thing to learn. And for those of you who do know how to, I truly do envy you. Being that it is not a particularly
Thank you for another 10 gift subs,
subject,
Maki. Jesus
having
Christ.
the opportunity to learn these things from an expert for free
Thanks, Carl.
seems to be like a win-win to most people. And that is exactly what Carl's community was directed at, even saying it in his page's bio. An archive for the series of free programming classes taught by Carl Harold, designed for beginners on up. Over time, Carl's audience and reputation increased, being known as a genuinely nice guy who was both informative and passionate about teaching and programming. He was even eventually named Redditor of the Day on July 26th.
That was a big day for Reddit.
All of that changed
Carl
in November of 2013. Things on Carl's page seemed to go silent. There were other Redditors out there commenting on prior posts and all seemed normal for the time, yet after days had turned into a week and still nobody had heard from the man himself, some people began to wonder if something was going on. His YouTube channel was as well silent, and it seemed he wasn't active on any social media. People chalked it up to him being busy with his personal things, or possibly he's sick, or maybe he just wanted to take a couple weeks off from life. None of those were the case, however. And for the people who lived in the Alabama area, they were the first to hear the truth. And the truth sent a shockwave that would devastate the community.
So did the community know he was named Carl Harold? Like they knew about him?
Information tonight in the case of a man charged with producing and distributing child pornography. WHNT News 19's
Goddamn.
Daniela Paralon joins us now live in Huntsville with those details. Daniela.
So I'm guessing Redditors knew him.
Charges of several child pornography-related charges just last month. Initially, law enforcement officials were tight-lipped about what those charges entailed, but tonight, court documents are showing what led to those charges. 3 charges equally disturbing. Carl Philip Harold has been charged with production of pornography with a minor, production and display of child pornography, and permitting a child to engage in pornography. Court documents show Harold is accused of knowingly producing, recording, and photographing images of a 9-year-old boy.
I imagine he got sentenced for life.
The video recorded the child as he was being sodomized and sexually tortured.
Jesus
Further
Christ.
charges accuse Harold of publicly sharing the videos and images of the sexual abuse.
Carl Harold was arrested for multiple counts of producing and distributing child pornography. He was as well responsible for holding a child captive for 8 months with no outside interaction nor schooling. Who he depicted in his child pornography and the child that was held captive was Carl's own son. Naturally, when the news broke on this, it quickly made its way to Reddit, since multiple news sources and law enforcement flocked to his page to investigate. And Redditors were absolutely shocked. At first, many thought they had the wrong person, as there would be no way it could be the same. Some flat out refused to believe a man this helpful and kind would be responsible for these heinous actions.
That's like the most Redditor shit of all time. This dude taught me how to program my HTML website once. There's no way he's a bad guy. Like, without fail. Like, that is, like, the most Redditor response to shit I could possibly imagine. Nope, it's the wrong guy. Feds got it wrong. We'll catch him.
Yet, as much as people didn't want to believe, it was still nonetheless true. And when people on the site started realizing and ultimately accepting that this was in fact the same Carl Harold, it quickly led to an internet crucifixion.
Yeah, the Redditor of the day got blasted, I bet. Oh. He killed himself, huh? Holy shit.
Which he deserved. His reputation ruined and facing multiple counts of child endangerment, torture, and a slew of other vile charges. Once he was arrested, it was quickly learned that he had a partner by the name of Charles Dunavant, who was as well named crimes, as he was fully taking part in these atrocious acts as well.
Was he a Redditor? Did he ever get Redditor of the day?
Both Harold and Dunavant were originally placed on a $150,000 bond. But that quickly went up to $1 million due to the nature of their crimes and how they were deemed a threat to society. Harold denied the allegations against him, and during several hearings, he was stated as being positive and in high spirits that he would win his case. How he felt this way, I have no idea, because from what I have read about the evidence against him, it was extremely overwhelming for a conviction. It was learned that the abuse began in August of 2011, and the reason he was discovered was due to the pictures of his son being found online, which the FBI saw and contacted Huntsville, Alabama law enforcement. And the investigation from this led to his arrest.
What was this comment? Hold on, I only caught like the end of this. I don't know what to say. This is fucking, I mean, goddamn. I guess we can unsubscribe now. I don't think you can use Reddit in prison, and if the allegations are true, I certainly don't want to read his shit. The first thing he thinks of is, I guess I should unsubscribe from the Reddit. Man, what a shame. I used to really like that Reddit. I guess I gotta unsubscribe from it. No updates coming on there.
From this led to his arrest. Faced with 18 counts in multiple states, the entire court proceedings were just getting started when in November of 2014, while in the middle of an extradition to New York, Carl Harold was found hanged in his jail cell. Carl Harold was dead. With his death, the case against him stalled and only cemented his guilt in the eyes of most of the public. Charles was eventually sentenced to a total of 56 years in prison, and even though many think he should have received the death penalty, knowing that he will spend the rest of his life, if he even makes it that far, in prison was solace to some, knowing these evil men would never be able to harm another child. There was a third man who was arrested for his involvement, named Mark Bedwell, yet I couldn't find anything on him in terms of court cases. The only information I could find was that he didn't live in the US. I couldn't find much information on Carl's son, and honestly, I'm thankful for that. The child has been through things that nobody should ever have to experience, and I think it would be best for him and his well-being to simply be left alone from all of this. Hopefully he has received treatment for the mental and physical abuse he suffered, and that he is on the road to improving his life, and leaving his dark past just there, in the past.
God damn.
There was an instance, though, where Reddit didn't seem to be done with Carl Harold. Or perhaps it was the other way around. In late 2018, a post was made on Reddit where the poster claimed to be Carl, and that he faked his death. And honestly, it's bullshit.
Jesus Christ.
I don't even want to entertain the idea that this monster could potentially be alive, and giving into that whole idea just fuels speculation, stirs a pot, and there is no need to just fuck it. What you could take away from all of this is that you truly can never know a person online.
Attention seeking knows no bounds.
Nice, and even friendly. They may boost your ego, fill you with hope, and even maybe help you learn a new skill.
Shrimp Jazz.
But once they step away from their computer and enter back into their real persona, they could very well be someone you'd never want to meet beyond a computer screen.
Yeah, I'd never heard of this story.
I know that this story was not particularly a happy one, but to some, the outcome may have had a happy ending, so I guess you're welcome. But hey, if you like this content, if you liked my video, if you liked my voice, if you liked the thumbnail, maybe consider subscribing. It lets me know that you actually enjoy this content, which is good for both of us.
It was a good video. I thought it was good. The most hated Reddit mod. Yeah, that was pretty fucking intense. Kaya talked about this on the podcast, but now I'm curious if there's a video on it. Has anyone kept up with the Gabby Petito subreddit and all of the drama that's unfolded there? If so, where can I find a full summation? To put it in a nutshell, I'm sure most of you know the Gabby Petito case. They created a subreddit to kind of Boston bomber it. So they created a subreddit of detectives to try and solve the Gabby Petito case and find Brian Laundrie. And then it quickly evolved into like fanfic and like badges rewarding active commenters and shit. That's what this kind of reminded me of. Not this story, but like the hated Reddit mods and shit. Thanks for the gift sub, Pebin. Someone said that there's a thread on Reddit with all of it. I don't want to just go through a Reddit thread. Let's see. There's the Prime Decano in Deshlong. Thanks, resub Kung Fu Carl. Reddit's the kind of thing everyone shits on but still uses. Yeah, it's like Twitter. 100%. I still use it. I shit on it all the time. Have you seen Weber Cooks? Of course. Twitter's worse. Twitter is worse. True. Brian was spotted literally 30 minutes away from my house. The fuck are you doing here then, Samuel? Go get him! What the fuck? Sam! Get out there! Thanks to the Prime, Waldo. And the resub, Fintry. Am I a prime Sigma male? I'd say so. I'd say I'm like the apex of Sigma males. Watch the video about the Venezuelan bots in the RuneScape? I've already seen that one. Thanks to the resub imitating, or intimidating. Watch my top 10 scary shit? Not tonight. I actually might call it a night. I'm getting tired.